On today's show, Sean McCann of Great Big Sea takes the Good Day from the Bay Questionnaire and sings two of his biggest hits. Andrea Aragon opens up about writing a memoir. Plus, how rising tide is changing lives in New Brunswick.
From your hometown local station, this is Good Day from the Bay with Vicki, Hogarth, and Jonathan Brittain.
Good Day from the Bay. I'm Vicki Hogarth.
And I'm Jonathan Brittain.
Today, we're thrilled to be joined by a legendary East Coast musician who's taken on an equally powerful role outside of music that earned him the Order of Canada.
That's right. Sean McCann, a founder of Great Big Sea and now a passionate advocate for mental health and recovery, and also an acclaimed solo artist, joins us on today's show.
We are thrilled that Sean has agreed to take the Good Day from the Bay Questionnaire. And yes, we also asked him to bring his guitar, so get ready to sing along at home.
Does that mean we get to sing along here?
I think so. I'm sure we can, but I won't be surprised if our mics get cut.
Before we sit down with Sean, I understand that you recently spent some time with his wife, Andrea Aragon.
Yes. I actually had the pleasure of accompanying Sean's wife, Andrea, on a book tour for a memoir that she actually co-wrote with Sean called One Good Reason. Let's take a look.
And put in the hard work, because it's hard work, but know that it's worth it. And if it's, listen, I gave Sean an ultimatum that night when he got sober, and he had to do the work to stay sober. But I also had to do the work to be part of our relationship now.
Being on the road with Andrea Aragon was as inspiring as it was eye-opening. The book tour was in support of Sophia Recovery Center, a sanctuary for women in New Brunswick affected by addiction who seek to rebuild their lives. From St. Stephen to Sussex to St. John, Andrea shared her journey of co-writing One Good Reason with her husband, Sean McCann. The memoir is a raw and honest account of Sean's battle with alcoholism, his journey to sobriety, and the role Andrea played in giving him a reason to fight for a better life. Their story highlights not just the struggles of addiction, but also the incredible strength of those who stand by their loved ones through it all.
I think that it's really important that the community understands that, as I've been saying the last 3 days, addiction doesn't happen in a vacuum. And there's so much collateral damage that we haven't really been given voice to, or certainly I haven't seen it in a novel or in a book form. And that is exactly why Sean and I wrote the book together, because as the addict, he had his own story, but as the person dealing with the addict, I had maybe some of the real story that he couldn't remember.
Andrea's unwavering support was a cornerstone in Sean's recovery. Together, they've used their book to start important conversations about addiction and recovery. Andrea says sharing their story helps reduce stigma and ultimately helps others reach out to get the help they need.
I think what it does, and it's human nature, right? If you see somebody be vulnerable and tell their truth, it gives you a little bit of strength and a little less shame and a little less fright, so that maybe you can tell your truth and let that weight go. So I think being vulnerable in front of people will allow others to let go of their burdens and maybe start their path to help and recovery.
Well, I now need to add One Good Reason to my reading list.
It's really an incredible book. We will be back with the other co-author of One Good Reason, Sean McCann, after this. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Sometimes I lose. I've been bad.
Welcome back to Good Day from the Bay. Our guest today is one of the founding members of Great Big Sea, and you know him best these days as the Shanty Man. Please welcome Sean McCann.
Hey, am I singing now? Oh, I'm sorry. You might know this. I got a smile on my face and I got four walls around me. I got the sun in the sky, the water surround me. Oh, you know, I might win some, sometimes I lose. I've been battered, but I never bruise. It's not so bad. And I say, way, hey, hey, just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Jeannie sits on the corner, what keeps her from dying? Let them say what they want, she won't stop trying. Oh, you know, she might stumble if they push her around. She might fall, but she'll never lie down. It's not so bad. And I say, are you ready?
I'm ready.
And I say, way, hey, hey, just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. Good job. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Oh yeah, you guys are my new band. In this beautiful life, there's always some sorrow. It's a double-edged knife, but there's always tomorrow. Oh, you know, it's up to you now. If you sink or swim, just keep the faith. Your ship will come in. It's not so bad. All together now. I said, way, hey, hey, just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say, I said, way, hey, hey, just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. It's alright, St. Andrews. I got a smile on my face and I got four walls around me. High five. High five.
This is not an ordinary day for us.
The new band is sounding good.
Oh, amazing. I feel like I'm ready to go on tour.
2 weeks notice from running around. We're going on the road with the shanty band.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of touring, like from Great Big Sea to your solo stuff to the shanty stuff, I mean, to the average people like us, it seems so glamorous. But what's like life on the road really like? Like it's between the reality and the fantasy of it, how would you describe it?
It's a bit better now. I mean, now every night is in a hotel at least, and not on a tour bus with 10 dudes. That's a bit of a step up, actually. Although Best Westerns are fine, but they're not that glamorous. There's a lot of driving. A lot of travel is, you know, not as much fun as it used to be. So that's essentially the role. I mean, as an independent musician, I'm entirely independent. I don't have a manager, an agent. I'm unfunded and have always been unfunded. I just roll forward, and I'm grateful for all the support I get. But it's a lot of work, and it's not something you do for any other reason than you just love to do it. And I love to sing. Mm-hmm. I love to sing with people. And it makes me feel better. It makes me feel more ready, more able for life and the day, and it just sustains me. So I'm just very lucky to be able to do, for the last 35 years, what I love to do and earn a living. Now it's definitely been, it's never gotten easier,
Right.
and but it's for me it's still worth getting up every day and making the effort.
What's it like being in that niche group you're in of people who've done what you do for decades, and you experience some of the cities I'm sure that you tour in, you've been to many times before, but what do you do on a typical day when you're not at home but you're on tour? How do you experience a city that you may have been to a handful of times?
Well, there's not many cities I haven't been in, Canada or the U.S. for that matter, but it's I usually go to my favorite trail. If it's the first time, I'll go find a trail. And hopefully it'll be my favorite trail where I'll go for a run or a hike or whatever and try to catch, if there's time allows, I always find it really helpful to be in nature, you know, rain or I don't care what the weather's like, it's just to be out of a car and not in a hotel, and that's sustaining to me. And coffee is a big priority now. And sugar. I'm a big fan of, I look for the nearest, who's got the best cookies and coffee. And
So these are little things that I kind of like look forward to every day.
Have you discovered your St. Andrew's coffee shop? We should ask.
I've been blessed. Like I was at Kingsbury, Akira Artist residency, and Pam there. I have not had. I can honestly say I've not had better food or certainly better desserts ever anywhere in my life. She is amazing. Yeah. So I'm sure St. Andrews has great stuff, but I don't think it's going to be better than that.
I would make a Pam exclusive any day.
Yeah,
Jonathan and I have been a little obsessed with learning about the shanty revival. That was a COVID thing, but you were telling us before the cameras aired why that came about, because it became this rage in COVID on TikTok that shanty songs kept coming back, and there was reason behind it or what their original purpose was.
Yeah, the internet wasn't self-aware. It was funny to me to see it revive, because I know from my training, I'm the shanty man from Newfoundland, that sea shanties were invented to enable crews of ships to do hard work by working together, right? So like the meter would keep us, we'd be hauling the rope at the same time. It would create an efficient way to get a hard thing done. So in COVID, in the pandemic, there was no better kind of theme song than a shanty, because this is what we all had to do. We all had to do it together, and we all had to work hard together to get the job done, which was survive. So not that the internet realized that, but for some reason, it showed up again, just when we needed it. Like it made sense that it had that blip. And in typical Sean McCann fashion, I had already started to make my Shantyman record, which is my last release. And but it wasn't finished in time to catch that internet second. So it came out after. But the deeper meaning of it and the purpose of it, I stand by. And I used to do it, we did a lot, myself and Andrea did a lot of stuff about One Good Reason online. Our book came out during the pandemic. And so all our events were forced online, and we started singing and had a great time doing it, and I know the power of music is really important in our lives, and it really helps us get through hard times. Mm-hmm. So the sea shanty was key, and that's why I think it came back just when we needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, if you grew up in the Maritimes, as we did.
Atlantic Canada,
sorry. That's right.
The Maritimes, yeah.
I mean, you grow up hearing that music, whether you want to or not. It's just part of the fabric. How do the audience differ as you go west? Or do you find that there's a lot of transplanted Atlantic Canadians coming? Or is it like new people exposed to music? Does it change as you go west in terms of the audiences?
I think the music has it gets more exotic the further away you go. I think it's less available. So you will get homesick Atlantic Canadians and Newfoundlanders for sure, but I think that the rhythms of the particular where we come from, they come from the sea, and that in and of itself, people who haven't been near the ocean, they can hear it in our songs, and it's very foreign to a lot of people who haven't experienced the beauty of Atlantic Canada. And they can hear it, and they're like, "What is that wonderful sound?" And it's different. It's unique. It's us. It's who we are. And people, I remember when we first, we made 32 videos for Much Music when there wasn't much music. And one of the first questions was, "Is it kind of like a burden for you to have to sing these folk songs?" And we're like, "No, man. We love this. There's no burden for us. This is exactly why we're here." And because they had no context. They'd never been to Newfoundland. They didn't know what it was about. It's a foreign country, essentially. So we were always happy to spread the word in a positive way. But the music stands on its own. Like it's infectious, it's strong, it's melodic. And a lot of the songs, folk songs, especially from Newfoundland, they're kind of dire and dark. Like people die, tidal waves come. But they're sung with such a positive attitude, which is what Newfoundlanders are known for. so that is that in and of itself is like, we're not afraid to take on these difficult topics, and you know what? We're going to sing it in a way that we control, that we take control of and share with you in a positive way, just to show how strong people are.
Mm-hmm. So the East Coast feels so beloved across. When I lived in Toronto, I remember they would even celebrate New Brunswick Day in Toronto. There was maybe it was just me. No, there was a large group. Why do you think, what is it about the East Coast and East Coast musicians that is so attractive everywhere else?
I think we have a reputation for being friendly, and that's deserved, and I think that comes with like big cities like Toronto, like you mentioned, the GTA. It's almost 5 million people, I guess, now. I think there's a great relief when people encounter small town people. We have more space. We have our stresses, and our challenges, but they're different. And I guess that's why we are a little different. But I always believe we're more the same than they're different. We're all humans. But I know in COVID, not so much in Newfoundland, I don't think, but I know in New Brunswick there was a migration of people. I've been told about this 3 or 4 times, that people, sight unseen, moving into the Maritimes to get away from stress and have more outdoor space. And I get it, it's understandable. When you don't have something, you want it. You need it.
I wanted to talk to you about something you brought up earlier, your memoir that you co-wrote with your wife, Andrea, One Good Reason.
Yeah, she's coming here.
And I will get to interview her as well. I'm excited for the Sophia Recovery Breakfast. It's an addiction and recovery memoir written by both of you. Can you tell people at home what it's about? I have both the book and the audio book right now, and I love just hearing your voice read chapters, and Andrea's as well.
Yeah, well, I've been in recovery for 14 years now, so I've been sober for 14 years. And, people drink and use drugs for reasons, in my experience, and I only can speak for my own. But, I was one of the lucky few who managed to transition and remain sober. It's not an easy thing to do, and a lot of people are not as lucky as I've been. They just don't, it's not a thing they can control. So I wanted to share our story about how it came about and how we got through it. And I didn't do it alone. I did it with Andrea, who was the one good reason that I focused on to keep me sober. And that's what the book is about. And I started writing it myself, but realized quickly this is not my story, it's our story. Like, addiction doesn't live in a vacuum. It's, the person most impacted by my addiction most days was her. So I wanted her voice, and talked her into doing it, and she contributed and wrote the best parts of the book. And together, it was a challenge for most publishers who passed on the book, because it's literally written in 2 voices. Here's an event that I somewhat remember because I wasn't sober. Here's the event, the sober person who was impacted by the behavior telling it. Now, it doesn't portray me in the best light most pages, but it's a very honest, and it was a hard book to write, but it was very honest. And before I turn any reader off, there's a happy ending to the book. This is not a scary book in any way. It does deal with the reasons for how addiction can happen, but there is a path there on how to overcome it. And that's why we encourage people to read it, and that's why Andrea is coming here to speak to Sophia Recovery.
And that's what's so nice about it is that from anyone who's experiencing addiction, recovery on a personal level, there's a lot to relate to in the book. But if you're also a family member, that's a huge part of the equation, is the support system around the person who's trying to get well. And that book offers both, which is, it's different from a lot of recovery memoirs that I've read. I've taken to it because it has both sides of the equation.
Yeah, well, I've written lots of I had in my own recovery, trying to learn how do I stay sober. But I found a lot of them, not to be critical, just they didn't go deep enough. They didn't answer the questions that were on my mind. And I don't think I'm going to write another book. I'm a songwriter, and that's what I want to do. It was really hard to switch from writing sonnets to prose. I didn't have those muscles, so it took a long time, and it took a lot of self-reflection, which is difficult but necessary. It's necessary work, and I do think that the book is one of the many things that I've encountered, the work that made a difference and is keeping me sober. And that's why I believe if you struggle with addiction, and I have compassion for you, I know how hard it is. Don't give up. Everyone, if the guy from Great Big Sea can quit drinking, it's possible for anyone to quit drinking, first and foremost. And One Good Reason, the book I wrote with Andrea, there's a path there that tells our story. And but we know we're not alone. We know addiction affects most people in some way. You either know somebody, it's in your family. No one goes through life and doesn't encounter it. Anyone who owns a phone right now understands it. And the big thing is to realize you're not alone, and that we have power, and that the future is not unwritten. We can make choices, and we have the power to determine what tomorrow is for us. And that's a big step, but it's achievable.
You know, listening to you describe that, I've just been thinking, it's almost a parallel to the shanty songs, really, in a way, that you were talking about before, how, well, they're an art form, but they're to help you get through something difficult. You know, it's telling a story, or, you know, because I can remember growing up as a student and being involved in music, and we were, Newfoundland traditional songs were always a part of that. They were always about something difficult, but something beautiful. In a way, so your book is, in a way, doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people were coming from the Great Big Sea world. It was definitely not on brand with the band.
Yeah.
But I do think that in its essence and core, it was doing the same kind of work in a different flavor, I guess, or color. But it was work, and it was encouraging people to do work that would ultimately benefit them, you know, in the long term. Mm-hmm. And I do believe, like, music is another, the book being what it was, I mean, the book also includes 14 songs that were written through my recovery. And without music, without this guitar, you know, this is Old Brown. This is the first guitar I ever bought, 1989.
Amazing.
And you can see he's been with me for every show. You can see he's put in the miles, but
I feel like I have to touch him just because
he's
so legendary.
He likes that.
Amazing.
Wow.
He's, you know, one of the strange things about sobering up that I didn't, there was a side effect of sobriety. Like, I used to have what I thought were thousands of friends because I used to have a lot of drinking buddies. But the day I sobered up, my phone stopped ringing. Like, it was like a switch. And I had to, you know, I was trying to process a lot of stuff and deal with a lot of the deeper meanings of why I was drinking in the first place. And I found myself very much alone doing it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that made it even harder. So I remember 3 months in, I mean, the first year I found that was the hardest time, but the first 3 months in particular were a struggle. And Andrea had given me the ultimatum that I needed to hear and the reason to continue. But, you know, I remember 3 months in and I was having nightmares about why I drank, and I was sexually assaulted by my priest when I was a teenager. And that was hard, you know, to come to that, you know, to try and make sense of that and allow for that to be in my mind soberly, which was a big thing to do. But having, you know, and then having no real friends that I could share this with in a way. So I was sitting home, and I actually went out one day and I bought a bottle of whiskey. And I bought it home, and the house was empty. So it was Lagavulin and single malt, and I was really thinking about opening it, you know, and I knew that was going to be the end of life as I knew it. Like, I was going to lose a lot, but I knew it would take the pain away today. But as I was contemplating making that decision, I looked up, and on the wall in the kitchen was Old Brown. Old Brown was hanging on the wall, a guitar hanger. And instead of picking the bottle up, I went over and I picked up Old Brown. And I sat down and I wrote the first song I wrote as a sober person. And I can sing that for you if you want.
Sure, yeah, please do.
Yeah. Now you can help me sing this too.
Okay.
Okay? There's one word in this song. Stronger is the word.
Okay.
So you'll know.
All right.
Been a long time now since you left me here alone, but I don't mind, 'cause I have grown and I feel alright. Something must be wrong. Gonna take my time, gonna sing my song, 'cause I am stronger. Good job. It was one big lie
Now I can't believe my eyes, but I'm not the kind who lay down and die. You can fool me once, that's on me, but try it twice and you will see that I am stronger, better every day. I am stronger, and I've got something to say. I am stronger, I'm deeper than the sea. I am stronger than I ever used to be. Good job. When it all comes down, you'll be nowhere to be found, but I'll be standing here. Yes, I'll be still around, and I'll take this old guitar and I'll fill it with my heart, and I'll show the world I'm ready to make a brand new start. And I'll be stronger, better every day. I'll be stronger, and I've got something to say. I'll be stronger, I'm deeper than the sea. I am stronger than I ever used to be. If it takes 1,000 years for the truth to break, I will overcome my fear, and I'll set that record straight. And I'll be stronger than all your sticks and stones. I'll be stronger, and I know where I am going. I am stronger, I'm brighter than the sun. I am stronger, and I've only just begun. I am stronger, I'm better every day. Stronger, and I've got something to say. I am stronger, I'm deeper than the sea. I am stronger than I ever used to be.
Beautiful.
You were great. I was the only one who made a mistake.
You are an open book. You've written a book. It's in your songs, and yet you've still agreed to take the Good Day from the Bay questionnaire in case there is something we can uncover about you that people don't know.
Okay.
Are you ready?
What's this now? What's this questionnaire?
It's called the Good Day from the Bay Questionnaire.
My manager didn't tell me about this.
Okay, first question. What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
Well, I'm not at liberty to say on television about what I don't think the audience wants to hear about some of those things. But I did have an oyster omelet recently.
Oh.
Yep, Chef Alex Hahn has devised a great dish that I would have to say, and the very kind and benevolent and mighty Lucinda Flamer encouraged me to try the oyster omelet over at Kingsbury Garden, and I would have to say that it was very adventurous of me to go there, but I'd recommend it. Yeah, certainly go to the restaurant.
I have had the same dish with Mrs. Flamer, and
I think she recommends it.
She
quite a bit.
recommends it, and you don't say no.
No.
But it was so good. It was life changing, which might lead to my next question, which is if you could eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It'd be oyster omelets, I guess. No, I think it would be dessert. Does that count as a cuisine?
I think
does.
so. In my life, it
Is
does.
there one type that is like your top dessert?
Yeah, whatever Pam Shaw makes.
Excellent.
Doesn't matter what it is. It's just going to be amazing.
Excellent. Okay, where's your happy place?
Oh, that's a good question. My happy place is either on the water, on a sea kayak, like literally on the water or close to it. St. Andrews has been beautiful for that, just every day, just being by the sea. Or in the woods, on a trail. I'm generally, my happy place is alone, but not too far removed that I can't get back soon enough. But, you know, solitude is something that I seek out, but solitude in nature is my happy place that I kind of need to connect with on a daily basis.
Where's your favorite spot to be alone?
Oh, I would say St. Andrews by the Sea is one of them. Like, I love this little place. I'd never known about it. Came here last year and did a show, and at the amphitheater they invited me back, did another show this summer or September. And I can honestly say I've been a lot of places, but this is a truly special place, and it will be in hopefully I'll be able to come back again and again. And I'm not just trying to pander to the locals. I mean this. It is gorgeous, and I know I'm well traveled. I also love the mountains. I love the desert. So I don't differentiate. The Grand Canyon was really had an emotional effect on me and sustained me for months after I left there. So I can't say it's one place, but I will say that St. Andrews is now one of them for me.
Perfect.
I'll be happy to. I'll come and play at St. Andrews Day. How about that?
There's a question in here.
You're setting yourself up perfectly. But before that, what keeps you awake at night with worry?
You know what? I was awake last night. I've recently achieved this, it's called sleep anxiety. So this is a new mental thing for me. I have, I worry about sleep, and of course, when you worry about sleep, you actually don't sleep. So that's a new thing for me in a micro world, but it's become a thing this year. So I've got to figure that out, got to overcome that. It's another challenge that I'll take on. And, but I think like journalists and television and most art forms, what scares me now is, we've slowly devalued the work that we do is now, by calling it content and product, the song has been reevaluated at zero for streamers and stuff like that. But I really think we're in for it's been hard enough with these big companies now limiting and controlling how we share and when we share and misinformation. But I think that AI scares me. Yeah. I'm really scared about that, and that keeps me awake some nights as well, because it's that is a threat, and it's not just the financial stuff, and I know it'll affect far more than songwriters and stuff like that economically, but I do believe, like from the songwriter perspective, that the writing of songs, the composing of music, these are things that humanity as a species has used to help us survive and evolve over time. And I think when we put those skills that we've developed, we push that off on a third party, an intelligence that's not even human. And that's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I know it's going to be pretty good at it, but it's, and it'll be able to mimic us and do all that stuff, but not doing that work, that will limit our ability to survive, in my mind. So I think that's important. And I think you can teach a machine a lot to do a lot of things, but I don't think you can teach it to care. Mm. So this is a thing, and it's not just me. You tend to internalize things or take it not personally, but you see it. You see everybody sees life through their own lens. But I know that from talking to a wide variety of careers, we're all a little bit worried about that. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. And but remember that music, for me again, music literally saved my life, and I know it saves many lives in small ways every day. It would be a dangerous thing to hand over the making of it to something that is not a human.
I agree, very much so.
Who in your life do you look up to the most?
Andrea, my wife, because she's got compassion and strength, and I owe her everything. And of course, I love her she's totally hot, very beautiful woman and stuff. But she's been an example to me, strength-wise. She's a fighter. She's fierce, and she's mighty. And you'll meet her firsthand very soon, and everyone will see what I'm talking about. And I'm lucky and grateful to have her. The book tells about how we met, which is a very weird way. It's sometimes things, miracle is a big word, but it's literally miraculous or extremely very unlikely or lucky that we found each other.
I think it's really interesting you said compassionate and strong, because there's a big segment of the population that at least I've come across that view compassion as a weakness, as not a strength. I personally think it takes a great amount of strength, so it's really great to hear you describe her that way.
I agree with you. I think compassion is the great strength that you see less and less of, unfortunately. But it's the strength that we need most now to get through the world today, which has never been more divided. It's never been. And this again, as a father, I struggle because not only how do you advise your children about what to choose as a career, pretty hard to do now, but also how to live your life. And you don't, social media, the great promise was it was going to bring us together and connect us, and the opposite is true. But what you don't see on social media is a lot of compassion. And I think that the reason for that is people take the easiest path, which is not that. It's far easier to be angry, and I know this personally, than it is to care.
Absolutely. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Well, that's a good one. I would like to be able to fly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I would like to be able to fly. Like one of my favorite animals is the raven or the crow. I count them all the time. But I'm envious of birds. They have little brains. I don't know how smart I think crows are quite smart. But I wish I could fly myself, like Superman could fly, that kind of way. Because I think I could go places faster, and I could see the world from above and see more.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
My grandfather, when he lived to be 98 years old, and when I said goodbye to him, he said, I was 19 at the time. He said, "You're a young man, and I'm an old man. And I just want to let you know that I remember being 19, and what life looked like then to me was this long road that stretched ahead forever. And I just want you to know, and not in a scary way, but at the end of the life, at my life, I want you to know that when I look back, it was literally like a blink. So don't waste your time." And that was great advice.
What accomplishment are you most proud of?
I would have to say my sobriety. You know, I would say my children, my family, but on a person, that's not just me. And neither is sobriety, I don't think, but that's the thing that you don't get awards for that or anything like that, but or gold records or any of that stuff, but it really pales in comparison. Like it was probably the hardest thing I've managed to do. But it has had the greatest effect, not just on me, but the people that I care most about. So I'm grateful every day, and it is constant work, but I'm proud of the work that I do on that front for sure.
And that brings us to, what is your guilty pleasure or current obsession?
Sugar. Like I honestly, I never used to do sweets at all when I drank red wine and whiskey daily, but I guess you pick your poison, right? And I have a severe weakness for sugar. It's I got to be careful because I love it so much. And I have to say again that my time here in Kingsbury, Pam was just killing it. That was literally the best dessert I ever had every day for I think 17 days I was there. It was just like, oh my God, it just got better and better and better. So I'm going to detox now. I'm going to eat nothing but bananas. Is the sweetest thing I'm going to eat for at least a week. But I'll and not to complain, because I hope to come back someday and I'm going right back to that dessert table. I'm telling you right now. But that is my guilty pleasure. Sugar.
Bananas, though, side note, potassium, good for insomnia.
Yes, I know this, and I should have been more focused on my banana take yesterday.
Well, that's difficult to do when there's a great dessert table.
It is. Oh yeah, no, I'm telling you right now. I'm impressed. Like I'm a dessert snob, and I'm a connoisseur of the dessert, and I've found the best desserts I've ever had in my life were here. So I'm going to just move to St. Andrews and be done with this.
Perfect. You're more than welcome. Okay, second to last question. What's your favorite smell?
Ooh, grass. Not weed, not marijuana, which I smell too much coming out of cars. No, and it's freshly mowed grass. Like I love that smell. Love it, love it, love it. I don't know why, just always did. It's like that, and right up there though would be the sea, the salt in the air. Those are my two favorite smells.
If you could invent a holiday, what would it celebrate, and how would you celebrate?
It'd be Great Big Sea Day. And it'd be a Great Big Sea, we'd have a Great Big Sea concert again, which would be nice, which I'm available for, by the way. I'm open to that. I've been practicing. And because I do think that, I think that would be cool, a cool thing to do one more time. And it would send a message of peace out to the world, in a divided world, like I think that would be a cool way to raise a flag of truce and just get together and sing again. And I hope it happens. And I hope it happens right here in St. Andrews at Keir Amphitheater.
Well,
saying it right now.
Yeah.
That would be the holiday of my choice.
On that note, can we close out today's with Ordinary Day one more time?
Is that a request?
And it's a request, and I will
Absolutely.
up my backup singer performance this time.
Okay. You know, my sons actually like this song. They're 16 and 18, and they when their friends come over to the house, they'll go downstairs and not talk to each other and play video games as teenagers do. But they'll look, and I got my hardware collection down there on the walls. Got to put it somewhere, right? So they'll look around, they'll see some gold records and platinum records, you know, not toot my own horn here, but...
You got to impress the teenagers somehow.
Yeah, somehow. But they'll come up and they'll say, usually what the first thing they'll say is, what's a record? What's that? But then they'll say, they'll Google me at Great Big Sea, what is it? And they'll always say the same thing. You're the guy from Great Big Sea. Yeah. My mom loves your band. It's for all the moms. I got a smile on my face and I got four walls around me. I got the sun in the sky, the water surround me. Oh, you know, I might win some, sometimes I lose. I've been battered, but I never bruise. It's not so bad. You got this? I say, wait, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Great, my new band. Jeannie sits on the corner, what keeps her from dying? Let them say what they want, she won't stop trying. Oh, you know, she might stumble if they push her around. She might fall, but she'll never lie down. It's not so bad. And I say, wait, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Oh yeah, we're rocking. In this beautiful life, there's always some sorrow. Ooh, it's a double-edged knife, but there's always tomorrow. You know, it's up to you now if you sink or swim. Keep the faith, your ship will come in. It's not so bad. And I say, wait, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say, I said, wait, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. You got it. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. I got a smile on my face and I got four walls around me.
Thank you so much.
High five.
You know, Sean,
Going on the road.
when I hear that song or any great big song, it just floods me with memories, and they're all just joy. That's what I love so
That's
much
what we
about
need
this
more of.
music. And so thank you so much for just being here today, about everything you do is putting joy into the world, and we really love that. So thank
I
you.
was so happy I came in here. I'm proud of you. Independent television. What a concept. What a concept. I'm proud of you, and I hope next time I come back we get to do it again. I'll sing some more songs.
Well, thank you so much to Sean. Thank you for being here today. We'll be right back with more Good Day from the Bay.
Feel so far away from your home.
Welcome back to Good Day from the Bay.
As you saw earlier in the show, Sean McCann has been open about his recovery journey, using his story and music to help others facing similar challenges.
Today, we're also celebrating an important New Brunswick-based nonprofit changing the lives of some of the most vulnerable people in our province.
For more on this, here is CHCO's new contributor, Shelley Steeves.
I didn't think there was any help for me. I didn't ever think there was a chance. Feel so far away from your home.
But after a lifetime of drug addiction and homelessness, Jamie Wilson's life song of turmoil and heartbreak is slowly changing its tune. Born into a life of drug addiction.
My stepdad was a drug dealer. My other stepdad was a drug dealer. So I have a lot of, those were my role models. You want to ease the pain, send the poison through your vein.
Jamie became an addict and a dealer at only 13 and spent much of his early and adult years in and out of jail, couch surfing with no real home.
I never had a home until this now, really.
Now living in this one-bedroom apartment provided by Rising Tide Community Initiatives in Moncton. For the first time maybe ever, he feels like he can stand strong.
Like the thing is, it's my home. I don't have to share with nobody. I don't have to have nobody sleeping over, and the rules kind of help me.
With the help of wraparound supports that go along with settling into his new affordable apartment.
For the first while, it's so good to have like the caseworker helping you out and to have like the Rising Tide looking out for you.
Jamie has managed to stay clean for going on 3 years now, with his own bed to sleep in at night. He's gone from dealer to peer support worker at Harvest House Shelter, helping others get off the streets and the hard drugs for good.
I'm a peer. I'm just like them, except I got clean.
Working tirelessly behind the scenes, housing support workers like Kelsey Ivany have been working with Rising Tide to move more than 100 people in Moncton living rough into clean, modest apartments like this one.
The move-in days are always the best days that we have. You know, seeing people that are coming from shelter or who are sleeping rough, it's pretty cool to see, and you know, the smiles on their faces usually never goes away.
It's a transition that does not come easy, but worth the effort, says Jamie.
Got my own bed. Every night I sleep, so it's like a good routine. It's quiet, it's safety. My mental health is a lot better. The best part is just the quietness, the peacefulness.
He's now feeling for possibly the first time in his life. Shelley Steeves, CHCO-TV.
What an incredible story, and great reminder that a rising tide lifts all ships.
So true. If you know of a special person, group, or nonprofit shaping New Brunswick for the better that you'd like to see on Good Day from the Bay, send us your thoughts to goodday@chco.tv.
We'll be back after these short messages. Welcome back to Good Day from the Bay, and what an extraordinary day it's been.
It has been quite incredible. We hope you enjoyed getting to know Sean McCann better, and we can't wait to join you again next time on Good Day from the Bay. See you then.
Good Day from the Bay is produced through the facilities of CHCO Television with support from people in our region.